Classic TV fans, Rick9G here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about I Love Lucy in a really specific detail that you may not have noticed after watching I Love Lucy so many times over. Before I get into the actual video, I do want to let you know that I'm giving away a Season 3 DVD set of I Love Lucy. It has all the episodes from Season 3. It's absolutely free to enter. You don't have to pay a cent, even shipping. I'll be paying that. All you have to do is watch the entire video to see how you can participate and possibly win. There are new winners every single video giveaway, so make sure to participate. As I said, it's a great way to support the channel and it's absolutely free. Now, if you are a big fan of I Love Lucy, you will know how the main series story goes. The Ricardos and Mertzes headed to Hollywood, then soon afterwards they headed to Europe. And in the last episode of Season 5, it concluded the whole story arc of them being in Europe. The episode was called Return Home from Europe. It was released May 14th, 1956. Now in this one, Lucy was extremely decided on bringing home a 25-pound Italian piece of cheese for her mother, Mrs. McGillicuddy. However, Ricky did not want to pay the excess weight charges, basically the tax or what it would cost to actually put it on the plane and ship it back to New York. So thinking that infants were actually flying free, Lucy wraps the cheese in a baby blanket, pretends that the cheese is a baby, does all of the mimicking, the mannerisms, and miming that she is having a child on board. Ricky is super upset that she's doing these shenanigans. He even sits in the back side of the plane because he doesn't want to have anything to do with her. And Mary Jane Croft, the actress, Evelyn Bigsby, sits right next to her and starts to question her about the baby and so forth, saying that he's a 25-pound baby, which is, of course, ridiculous. It's a funny episode, all in all, if you've seen it. Let me know down in the comments below if you have seen it or if it is one that you absolutely like. Now, tell me, how many times have you seen it? Because as many times as you have seen this, it's almost like the Mandela effect. You would swear that this was never in it. But let me point you to something that is really fascinating. Remember, at this point, Lucy is on the plane with the cheese, and she realizes that, yes, they do even have to pay for babies. It would have been cheaper to just ship the cheese. So now Lucy says, well, we need to do something, Ethel. She comes up with a plan when everyone on the plane is sleeping to slice the cheese in many pieces, to eat it, and to get rid of the cheese. She hides some of that inside the actual instruments of Ricky's orchestra, which is another part of the story. But when they're cutting the cheese, that is when Lucy and Ethel are awake in the plane, notice something very carefully. You see that the cheese is cut into many different pieces. What else? Look at the head portion. I'll highlight it for you. There's actually a baby bonnet placed on the top of the cheese, almost to look like the head would be there. How many of you actually noticed this? Now, there's a step more than this, and I think this is the more fascinating thing. I mean, both of them are great. The baby bonnet, which we actually do see later. Let me show this to you. When later Lucy and the whole gang land, they go to the customs office trying to find out if the baby was lost or what really happened to the baby. They're trying to explain it to Frank Nelson, the customs official. And he says, well, whose is this, madam? And she wears the baby bonnet. That's the one that was on the actual cheese. Now let's go back on the plane. Look at the head portion of the actual cheese. There's a face that is drawn on this cheese. Now, who has noticed this? This has always slipped me by. And when I realized this, I said, I need to show everyone because this is mind-blowing to me. The detail that I Love Lucy sometimes went through. They never referred to it having a face. They never showed it explicitly, but they went through the trouble of putting a face on this because why? It would make sense. Lucy would put a face in a bonnet on it. It's just part of her craziness. It's part of who Lucy was as a character. I think it makes this episode more hilarious because you could barely see it through the blanket. And so I need to show it with all the Lucy fans. Be sure to tell this to your friends and family because now when you watch this episode, you will never unsee this. You will never be able to not notice that there's a face on the cheese and a baby bonnet. I really love to know your thoughts down below. In an honest way, did you ever notice this? And what do you think? Does it make it a little more funny, a little more exciting? And who do you think drew it on there? Do you think it was Lucy to do it? I mean, anyway, she wasn't showing the face of the cheese or the face of the baby to anyone. So why was the face there? It's just a funny little Easter egg anecdote. Now, for all of you who want to participate in the giveaway, here's what you need to do. As I mentioned to you, it's absolutely free to participate. You must be a subscriber to the channel. So if you're already subscribed, great. But if you aren't, what are you waiting for? It's absolutely free. You must be a subscriber to be eligible for the giveaway. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet, and the like button, which is the same as the thumbs up button below, and leave a comment below. It's going to be called the Bonnet Baby. That's the code. As long as you put Bonnet Baby in your comment, you could put anything else in the comment that you want, but Bonnet Baby, that's the code word to be eligible for the giveaway. And finally, there's a link in the description for you to insert some of your contact information that's confidential. That is only for me. Why do I need that? Because when I pick the winner, I need to be able to contact you. I can't do it through YouTube. I need to be able to do so that I can tell you that you've won, ship the DVD sent to you, and then announce it on the YouTube community page. So stay tuned for that. I ask for your patience. Thank you so much. Good luck to everyone. And don't be shy to participate, because sometimes you may just be the winner. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, be hopeful. Thank you so much to my supporters on Patreon, especially my Diamond tier patrons. New patron Gerard D, David D, Citizen Kane 359, Greg S, Kevin K, Ricky, Sally, and Vito L. Make sure to check the links in the description to see how you could be on this list as well.